Hello everyone, this is Pat with Angel Divination with our daily oracle card reading and message for Tuesday, the 29th of May, 2012. For today's reading, I felt drawn to call on the Archangel oracle card decks once again. I think I used them on Friday, and more specifically, the Archangel Raphael card deck, which I know has a great, there's probably evidently some kind of healing message for today, since he is the healing archangel. And actually, I just wanted to share with you, interestingly enough, on Friday we had Archangel Michael with crystal clear intentions, and we also had the blessing in disguise card. And I was explaining to people somehow that sometimes when you have a very frustrating situation, is actually is a blessing. And I realized what mine was. It was actually Saturday for me. I had a day, as most of you know, I missed doing a reading on Saturday. And I had a day where I hit the ground running. I was running around with errands all day long because my daughter was going to her first prom, which was very delightful, but it meant there was going off to get her hair done and get nails done. It was just and I missed being at the opening day of the pool in my community. And it just felt like a very kind of busy, a little bit stressful day. But ultimately, everything worked out for the best because it was a holiday weekend here in the United States. A lot of people were away, so things weren't as crowded. So that was one blessing. We were able to get in on things without too much of a wait, or without being stuck in traffic. I also got taken out to dinner that night, so that was another blessing. And I found out that by missing that opening day at the pool, which actually I did get in the last 15 minutes of it, the last 15 minutes before the pool closed for a dip, because it was a pretty warm day here on Saturday where I am. I found out that I totally avoided encountering someone who was very kind of, angry, negative, that had come to this pool area. So there was, sometimes it's noticing the little things like that is our blessing. And even though the day that we're immersed in, might feel kind of stressful and like we're running around a lot. So I just wanted to share that with you to give you an idea of how that sometimes shows up in our life. But moving forward, we're going to call from the Archangel card deck to see what, call upon any archangels that might be working with us. All right, there's a couple cards that have, interesting. Okay, there's a couple cards that have spilled out here. One is Teaching and Learning with the Archangel Zadkiel. And the Archangel Zadkiel is one of those intellectual, like Uriel, he's an intellectual archangel, and he helps us with our studies. So I feel like this might be going out there to maybe some students who are finishing up their exams. Maybe you're completing a course. Something like that. There's a little bit of intensity around finishing things up. Okay, the message on the card itself says, keep an open mind and learn new ideas. Then teach these ideas to others. So, it is to some degree about if there's maybe you're finishing up your college degree and you're graduating, or that's something that went on this past weekend. I know in May there's a lot of graduations that go on. Or maybe you just completed a certification course in something. And well, Zadkiel's here to tell you that it's, now it's time to turn this around and start to teach it to others. It sort of signals the end of the learning and the beginning of the teaching. So, and he's also, because he's this intellectual archangel, he's here to help you. Do what you need to do to get through, maybe if you have to take some kind of exam or test to finish up whatever it was that you were learning in this course, or at the end of your schooling or your degree. He's helping you in that capacity. I know for me, personally, it's because I'm starting two new programs. And I'll be happy to put the links to them below, because there's still time to get in on them. I'm running a new pilot program called the Money Breakthrough Method that helps us kind of dig into the patterns that we have around, if you're struggling with money, or struggling with consistent income and flow, or, it helps us to see and identify the patterns around that. And that is starting tonight with a Kickstart class on clearing money clutter, and I'll be happy to put the link to that below. I'm also going to be starting a new mentoring program, spiritual coaching and mentoring program for people, and I'm going to be putting that out today, and I'll be happy to put the link for that below if you're interested. But Zadkiel's here to get us all moving, and I feel like part of this message is also that it also speaks to the things that you've learned of life, the things that the awarenesses that you came to, the experiences of life that really taught you a lesson and helped you to heal. Okay, it's time to share those with others. That was an important form of teaching that you received. So many of us get taught by, I mean, life experience is the great teacher, more so than book learning. And in this capacity, with what Zadkiel's coming through here with, is that you can take those life experiences that you've had that really taught you lessons, and especially maybe helped you to heal. And now it's time for you to turn those around and teach them to others. And maybe in the form of a book or a seminar, in some capacity. It's time to share that wisdom. So the other card that came out was Indigo and Crystal Children. And it says, and this is Archangel Metatron, and it says, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So it may be that your teaching has to do very much with children. But I often find when this card comes up that there's either a child currently in our life or one that comes into our life that, we are, somebody calls us for advice on, or we just notice that they're having, and we can provide help to them in ways where they're having some issues of sensitivity. And it could be food sensitivity, spiritual, psychic sensitivity, emotional sensitivity. In this case, I feel like Metatron's urging you to pay attention to what it is that they're sensitive to. Don't just brush it off as being like, oh, they're a little kid, they're being overly emotional or dramatic. Really pay attention to what it is that they're sensitive to, and be willing to help them through that process, okay? And we'll put that over here. So Metatron's a great helper of children who are very intuitively sensitive. There are some children that pick up on things when they go into certain environments. They're very sensitive to it. And as adults, we can be looking at it saying, what's the big deal? What's the, what's bothering you? And there's just something about the environment or the space or something like that that they're picking up on. And so what he's saying is it's important to honor that. Even though we don't always understand it in the moment, it's kind of important to honor that with them, because there is a reason for it, and it may not be a reason that they can describe in the moment, okay? But Metatron will help you, and he'll help them manage that sensitivity if you call on him and get to the bottom of it. So Metatron is one of the few archangels, pardon me, one of only two, who lived an earthly human lifetime. So he assists us in ways that, because he understands what it's like to maneuver in, on the earth, where we forget our divine connection a lot of times, and we have to kind of wade through the lessons of being in school here on the earth, if you will. So he's coming in with that message. Now let's see what Raphael wanted to bring us for a message today, what he wanted us to know. Detoxify. Okay. The message is detoxification. And it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for cleaning up my body, mind, and life so that I may happily and healthfully, pardon me, live free of chemicals. And what's interesting in this picture is that both of these angels, they're sending healing light. That's the earth that's in the middle. Okay? So in large part, this is about detoxifying the earth as well. As we detoxify ourselves and let go. I mean, so it really, in some ways, isn't a big surprise that we get this at the, well, at least at the end of what is a holiday weekend in the United States, where there's probably a lot of, drinking and excess eating that has gone on. So Raphael's coming in here and saying, yeah, it's time to detoxify from that. You might have overindulged a little bit. So, but as I look at this card, there is a very strong message of sending, if you're a Reiki master or healer of any kind, directing some healing light to help the earth detoxify, okay, and to help the earth to heal. And we also, by healing ourselves and detoxifying ourselves, both in our bodies and in our minds, we then, the phrase that comes to mind is one, peace on earth through peace of mind. And as we detoxify our own mind and heart, we also help to detoxify the environments that we're in. So let me see if there's any other messages that I get as I look at this. For some of you, with the cleaning out of the body and mind, actually particularly the body, what I get as I look at that card is that for a lot of you, this will improve your clarity in your thinking and your focus. If you've been having issues with feeling spacey, like you can't remember things, it's amazing to me how much food stuff, and diet stuff affects our, I mean, we know that food affects our energy, but it really does affect, how the ability of our mind to function well. That along with sleep, getting good sleep. But as you remove some things from your diet, maybe like, excess alcohol, excess sugar, caffeine, what have you, it's ultimately going to give you incredible clarity in your thinking process and the ability to, really think on your feet, think much faster. So these are some of the messages that I get today. So I hope you have a lovely Tuesday, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thanks to everybody who's left comments on the channel page. Thanks to the new subscribers, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely Tuesday.